Report. Share this one first.
Share their guests. Okay. Next,
All right.
second page.
Welcome everyone to our Friday training. We have a special guest with us, guest company, but multiple guests are here. With M&T Bank, Andrea and her team.
Hi everyone, thanks for
Andrea,
having
why
us.
don't you come over here
Yeah,
by
got it.
Mariano?
You could actually take the seat if you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go more.
so then they can see you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone who's here virtually. I'm used to doing Scoop More this way. Oh,
There
so
you
I'm
go.
in. Oh, okay, there, is that better?
That's better.
So, it's hard to know where the focus is.
The camera's right up there.
So Julie invited us in today and we really appreciate the opportunity to meet all of you. We wanted to talk about our mortgage lending capacity at M&T. Julie is on the Fairfield Chamber Board with one of my business partners, Derek Fodor. They are both on the board and they've had a working relationship, and he thought it was a good idea for us to get in and talk to you guys about what we do here with lending. And many of us are familiar with M&T from the recent conversion that happened in 2022. They acquired People's United Bank. Some of us are former legacy People's United Bank people. I'm a mortgage sales manager in Southern Connecticut. My team covers most of we cover the state from the Greenwich border to the Rhode Island border. Think of the 95 corridor, but M&T has lending presence across the whole United States footprint except for Alaska and Hawaii. And a little bit about myself. I've been in mortgage lending for 25 years with the bank now through the acquisition for 14 years. And the past 4 years, I've been a mortgage sales manager. Before that, I was an individual loan officer, lending from since 1998. So I've got a couple team members here with me. I've got Millie Roche. She is our CRA loan officer. She focuses on the affordable lending space. She does a lot of community lending partnership with organizations like CHAFA, HDF, M&T, BNT as well. And then Millie, I'll just let you guys introduce yourself.
Thank you. Well, I'm Millie, and you already introduced me. Good morning, and thank you for inviting us in this morning. As Andrew said, I'm a CRA designated, so I do a lot of affordable lending. We have wonderful programs which we're going to touch on shortly.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Arby Gaga. I've been in mortgages for 20 years now. 13 years at another place down the road, and moved here a couple of months ago to just much better products and pricing. So I'm excited to meet the team, and we have a lot to offer.
Fabio, women's lending.
That's all that needs to be said.
I am Alfredo Margarone. I've same thing, about 20 years plus in the business. I've been with the bank a little short than a year. I was 13 years in a previous lender. I mean, I joined M&T because, as Harvey said, we have a great product. I mean, we can offer everything from A to Z, from construction, jumbo, FHA, CHAFA, and everything. So I'm very excited to be here, and looking forward to work with you guys.
Nunzio Mancuso. I've been in the financial services industry for about 20, 25 years, and recently joined M&T. They're very aggressive in their pricing in all spaces, both bookends. The affordable lending, where you've got first-time home buyers coming in using the CHAFA programs, where they can get time to home, $50,000 towards the down payment, in addition to some other grants that we have, as well as the jumbo space, and aggressive pricing with interest-only products. Very unique and exotic ways to underwrite.
So I did put together a small deck to give you an overview of the company, and we can use that, or we can just chat a little bit, whatever is your preference.
It's at the bottom.
But one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the way M&T shows up in the community. We are a large regional bank that operates like a small community bank. We understand, although our headquarters are in Buffalo, New York, we understand that banking in Fairfield, Connecticut is different than banking in Buffalo. So in Fairfield County, we have a regional president. We're very committed to showing up and being engaged with the community, reinvesting in the community. We have a charitable foundation, and we want to be known as the community bank. We were founded 165 years ago in Buffalo, over 200 billion in assets. And in 2002, we originated over 5 billion in mortgages. And again, the regional bank gives us a lot of lending power, but it also, we operate on a small level. And that, you know, want me to do that?
Absolutely.
I went right through.
Krista, I don't mean to interrupt, but we're not seeing that screen. I don't know, is everybody seeing that screen on our offline? Are you doing a deck right now?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So we're still seeing at least I am, but maybe I'm doing something wrong.
No,
I'm just seeing the Our Guest M&T Bank.
thank you for letting
Yeah,
us know.
same here.
Of course. There we go.
Thank you.
There you go.
And am I right clicking forward? Is that what I'm
If
doing?
you just click on the right side, it should go for you.
Yeah, we're just gonna run upstairs.
Left click, just a regular.
No, we did it
Oh.
again.
Okay. I think.
And then if you just
Just do
toggle,
tab,
yeah,
yep, yep.
exactly.
There we go. Sorry, thanks for your patience. What I wanted to talk about is how, at the time of the acquisition of People's United Bank, there was no presence of M&T really in Fairfield County. So it's something new to the community. And what we want to do is we want to be the #1 market share in New England. And because of that, the bank has committed to giving us the products, the pricing, the marketing, and the operational support to really win. And what we've done already in business banking, in less than a year, M&T became the #1 small business lender in Connecticut. So in fact, in almost all of our footprint, we are either #1 or #2 in business lending, and we want to be the same in mortgage lending. And I know many of you are very seasoned real estate professionals, and you've seen what has happened in the mortgage arena over the past 2 years. Many lenders have pulled out. Many of the loan officers that you were used to working with have shifted the lenders they work with. Many of the lenders you're used to working with no longer offer the products that your customers need, specifically in Fairfield County in that jumbo market. Jumbo mortgages, many lenders just stopped offering. Well, M&T not only continues to lend in that jumbo space, but we lean in and we've expanded what we're doing. So I think when it comes to products, you'll find that we just have everything from the affordable space to the jumbo space with renovation, other products in between. Our purpose and our values, our core values: integrity, ownership, curiosity, collaboration, and candor. And I talked a little bit about the community. You will see that right here in the neighborhood of, in the Fairfield, in the whole Fairfield County neighborhood, we are constantly sponsoring. We're giving our money. We have a community foundation, and we're not just giving the money, but we're showing up. Hopefully our faces become familiar faces that you see at the different events and the different organizations that you guys are passionate about. So our vision statement is to be the trusted homeownership destination and provide lifetime value for our customers. Our operational support. We talked about having the products. Our operational support, we move very efficiently, quickly. I've got a loan with Alfredo now. Another lender couldn't do it. They've come to us. We can do it. It's a $3 million purchase in Florida.
correct.
in Florida, and we're gonna close that loan in 20 days. So we not only have the products, we have the service that goes hand in hand with that as well. I don't know, you want to talk a little bit about the products? I think Melly gave you guys not, Melly, I wanted you to share your story about the house in Fairfield that you're helping someone with right now. She's doing a CHAPA first mortgage and getting some help, helping a young family buy a home in Fairfield.
No, absolutely. I'm so happy and glad that I'm able to help them. It was one of my customers. The daughter came to me. I did a mortgage and talking to the dad, I found out that he has a home here in Fairfield that he's selling, and he had originally purchased it from the town. And when he came to this country, he had 2 kids, and he's an engineer now, so he's doing wonderful. And he told me about his house. Again, the city sold it to him about 15 years ago.
With deed restrictions.
With deed restrictions. There is deed restrictions on the property, but we have this wonderful family that's buying it. They have 2 children, and I'm going to help them. I'm going to be using the state of Connecticut, the CHAPA, Connecticut Housing Finance Authority program. CHAPA now has a program that's called Time to Own, and because they're buying here in Fairfield, they're getting a $50,000 forgivable loan. Okay. They're also using the Housing Development Fund out of Stanford. They're also helping with a 20% down payment loan at a rate of 3%, it's amortized over 20 years. So I was able to do a first mortgage with CHAPA and also layer these other programs behind the first mortgage to keep it affordable for them.
So what made them qualify for all these things?
There is income limits on it. There's income limits on because the property is restricted. But I'll tell you, CHAPA's income limits, they're high, especially here in Fairfield County. A lot of people think that they won't qualify for CHAPA. And I'm sure you guys have probably heard at one time, oh, I got CHAPA's a nightmare. And it's not. CHAPA is, up and coming. It's been around for a while. It's a wonderful program. So I'm helping that family. And we'll also have a grant program. They could, families that qualify for this program could get $5,000 or $10,000 forgivable grant. And that all comes from
M&T, yeah, we have
So
a grant that we
I was able
give as
to-
a lender
So
credit.
a lender credit, I was able to give them that, they're using it. So, when buyers come to me, I'm able to help them look at all the different programs, but that was one particular family that I'm helping. We're so happy that we're able to put them in a nice little home in Fairfield. They're gonna do great. They're gonna do
The
great.
total down payment assistance that you're bundling on that is what, 50,000? The
Oh,
town,
no,
the
it's like
city of,
total.
the town of Fairfield has
The town.
35,000.
The town of Fairfield, it matches up to $30,000. It's a matching grant, a matching loan. So the customer puts $30,000, contributes $30,000 towards the transaction. The town will put in another 30. It's not forgiven, it sits as a lien, but it makes the loan a little more affordable for the customer. So I have the town of Fairfield contributing the $30,000 or the loan. Customers coming in with $30,000 of their own. So there's several different grants that we can use. So with the town, it's the Housing Development Fund, State of Connecticut Time to Own. So again, we made it very affordable for them.
With that particular scenario, how many people are actually buying a house?
There's 2, and they have 2 children, so they base it on household size. The income limit is based on household size. I think they're like, it's not a lot, they're like 110,000.
So for a family of 4, even though there's 2 children involved, it's X dollars.
Correct, it's by family
Yeah,
size.
okay, got it.
So they were able to, I was able to get them in, get them qualified for the program.
But we do, I think the point that I want to highlight is that we partner with all of these agencies and we have the know-how how to help customers find those products.
And now more than ever, we want to try to make, especially for first-time buyers, make it as affordable as possible for them. And again, the income limits are high. I know that Fairfield, they're not that low, even if they're not using purchasing a deed restricted house.
Right.
The Connecticut Housing Finance Authority limits, income limits in Fairfield are very high. So it's for the right person.
Yeah, and CHAPA does conventional loans up to the new conforming limit of 770,000, 58,000. So we have the whole gamut. Alfredo, you've done construction loans. We do construction loans. We do.
I close a construction loan and customers already own the house and you can. Basically, they knock down the home and they build a brand new one. I was able to finance it was a $1.8 million loan for the construction. Actually, the process was seamless in compare on my previous lender was a little more complicated, especially on the disbursement side with the builder. It's very easy. It doesn't go line by line like, you know, I put this, the foundation, this, so it's in box. So the builder was very happy because he didn't have to wait too long to get his money back. So, it was,
I've done quite of them, especially Fairfield Beach area, small houses. I mean, I know inventory is low, everybody's trying to find the house that they want. Think of the renovation program for someone to buy the house that maybe isn't quite what they want today, but they can borrow the money to acquire the home, so they can borrow the purchase financing and the renovation funds at the same time. So we do traditional construction loans, meaning a lot with no house on it, where you want to sell them the lot and they build from the ground up, or a home that they want to tear down, or anything in between. So just maybe want to renovate the kitchen, add a bathroom, do an addition, just do high-end luxury cosmetic upgrades. We can do all of that with our construction loan. So that's our portfolio product at M&T. That's our own construction loan, but we also offer the FHA 203K, either the streamline or the full blown out 203K, and we offer the Fannie Mae home style. Someone who's putting 5% down and maybe wants to redo a kitchen, put in a new furnace, new windows, new roof.
Hello?
Did you have a question?
No.
No, okay. So we really have a wide suite of products available. We talked about down payment assistance. We really value relationships, people who bank with us. And if they don't bank with us today, but they want to bank with us and get a mortgage with us, if they have their payment come out of an M&T checking account, we will give them an 1/8 off of rate. And that's eligible on all of our programs except for one first-time home buyer product where we're already discounting the rate quite a bit. We have the grant program we spoke about. We also offer this home starter program I was talking about. It's a 3% down program with no mortgage insurance, and it's our own portfolio product. We don't sell to Fannie, Freddie, or FHA for that one. And then we have something kind of unique, biweekly mortgages. I think maybe some of you have heard of agencies who will come in and offer you a biweekly, pay your mortgage biweekly, and it reduces the term of the loan. We actually offer a biweekly mortgage where we give a discounted rate, and it's a 30-year loan, but by making 26 payments a year instead of 12, it expedites the payoff of the mortgage. So that is something that's actually written into the note, and it's organized that way. Our jumbos, we go up to our standard jumbo mortgage. We go up to $3 million without exception. For some of our private banking clients, we'll go up to 25 million. So we really do excel. I don't know, Nadia, if you want to talk about that a little bit, about how we excel in that affluent space, just in our lending capacity, knowing with some of the other lenders, with the Silicon Valley Bank collapse, with First Republic collapse last year, many lenders stopped doing jumbo lending, but we do. I just want to reinforce that we do it and we do it well.
Yeah, just to speak to the high net worth program that we have, it's whenever you have a net worth of over $3 million, it doesn't require that you bring over money to the M&T, but you have to just qualify for the program, have an initial conversation with our private wealth team. They have an office based out of Fairfield, based out of Greenwich. And our rates are unbeatable and the programs are unbeatable. So we did a pre-approval, and he doesn't mind mentioning, if I mention his name, we did a pre-approval for the CEO of Xerox, shopping for their property in Greenwich, and was looking for a $9 million property, and we were able to offer him the lowest down payment of any other institution, as well as the best rate. And in addition to that, we're very familiar with underwriting high net worth individuals, or restricted stock units that they might have, or oil wells that they might invest in. So it's very customized towards the individual, and we have a whole team approach that is hands-on. And I think, you know, we've talked a lot. I'd love to hear from you guys as far as what you're looking for. I know some of the advantages that we have that coming from the bank institution. We have a whole army of people that can help you out and not only allow your customers to have a good experience and get the mortgage quickly and with a good rate, obviously, but also the ability for you to leverage the different silos that we have in the bank and develop relationships with the financial advisors, with the wealth advisors, with the business bankers, so that you guys can get more deals. But I know that you've worked with many loan companies, loan officers, and I know that we're here. So there must be some sort of opportunity that I would ask Gloria and Mariano why we're here and what we can do to stay here, I guess is the question.
Very well said, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's, I wish I was in today. I mean, creating these partnerships is awesome. Can I ask a quick question about something different, which could differentiate us too?
What?
So, well, these are kind of, my son is buying a house in Maine. And do you guys cover Maine?
We do. Maine is a part of our footprint, our core footprint. We're in 13 states along the eastern seaboard, so we can do all of our lending programs in those 13 states, but a majority of our products we'll do across the whole, contingent United States.
And the best way to do that, like, as far as like for our sellers that are selling, that are moving somewhere else, creating a, some sort of packet for, we know that you might already have your, like, they're not looking at us as their buyer's rep, and we have to be careful not to step on the agent that they're using out wherever they're moving by referring, but coming up with a good I don't know if package is the right word, like are there any, like, we call them blue rewards? Like, Total would give a free appraisal or would pay for certain things, like if they stay within the network, and we don't have to come up with that decision today, but kind of, is there any kind of partnership program we can consider down the road?
So we can discuss different kind of promotional offers or joint marketing efforts, and that's something that we can follow up with. But if you guys want some kind of marketing materials that highlight our lending capacity across the United States, we see it a lot. We see a lot of second homes in northern New England. People who live in Fairfield County like to have houses in Vermont and Maine and New Hampshire, right? Lake homes, ski homes, beach homes. So we do a lot of that lending, and with us having that retail branch network in those areas as well, it's very comforting to those agents up in those areas to recognize our name and know our reputation to get the job done.
Perfect, yeah. And can I ask a question that might be helpful on a side note of just the loan process? If you have a client who's a young client who's buying a home and they don't have their credit is good, but they don't have a huge history, what is the process if parents will co-sign? Is that common, and is it like foolproof? Are there pitfalls I need to worry about? Because that's what kind of we're going through.
Sure. So some of the programs, the affordable income restricted programs won't be available because those are going to have income restriction, first time home buyer restrictions. But our other programs, we do certainly allow non-occupying co-borrowers to help someone qualify for a mortgage, and that's pretty standard. So, but just, and we'll also we'll address that up front. The other thing we do, and I want to make sure we say this, is we have a very old-fashioned common sense underwriting approach. We have a team of people at a high senior management level who will look at a scenario in advance and make sure that we don't lead someone down the wrong path. The worst thing in the world is to, issue a pre-approval letter or lead someone to believe they qualify for something that they don't qualify for. And that's on scenarios like the one you brought up, but it's also on scenarios where we've got complex income, sophisticated borrowers. We will do pre-flights, review tax returns in advance, and definitely make exceptions and decisions up front as to what we will do or not do. But parents co-signing for a borrower, that's a pretty standard thing that can happen.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Marlene, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, what's the standard pre-approval process?
It's very easy. Usually the client calls me and I talk to them and I give it basically two choices. One will be to send them a link to them. They can go to the link, apply online, and after that, the application comes back to me. I call them back and we discuss the detail of the pre-approval, what they can approve or not. I also offer them, if they are not comfortable to go online, half an hour at a time, and I go the old-fashioned way. I take the application over the phone.
I think that's really the difference here. So we have, Marlene, to answer your question, we have the technology that allows us to issue, well-reviewed files, credit, but we will not issue a pre-approval without a credit pull and without it going through an automated engine. So we get an endorsement for an approval. We review income docs, asset docs before we issue that letter. So we've got technology that lets us deliver that to you very quickly, but we also have like the old-fashioned approach of real people who sometimes someone wants to sit down face to face and go through that process. So I don't know if we answered your question, but that is what we do.
And what's the turnaround time on that?
Same day? It should be same day. I mean, as long as the customer gets us what we need to make that decision, we can issue that. I mean,
That's awesome. Thank you.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't take so long. As long as they apply online, I mean, it takes them enough an hour,
Authorization to pull credit,
Yeah.
most of us work late at night.
Do you do what we'll call a soft pull, while you're,
We
instead of
do
doing a
not.
hard, okay,
We do not, and there's been conversations around that.
yeah.
There have been conversations around that, but,
Because what I find with my clients is they sometimes want to talk to more than one person. They don't want anybody to pull their credit. I mean, you already know all this, but.
yeah, no, I know,
you
yeah, no, it's not an uncommon request.
Yeah.
But, what I think the best thing to do is just, I try to educate the customer that when you're shopping for a mortgage, there is a window of time where you could have 10 people pull your credit and it's still considered one.
Yeah, 30 days.
It's that 30-day window,
Yeah.
so I know it's not ideal, but I would be hesitant to take a pre-approval letter as an agent from someone who's doing the soft pull. I think that the hard pull is the best.
So when we're reviewing, like if we're representing the seller and the buyer's agent comes in with, an offer, where on that do we see whether it was will it just say credit was pulled?
Yeah, I would just be careful to make sure you're seeing something that indicates that the credit has been reviewed. I'm not quite sure if it'll indicate soft pull or
Yeah.
not.
I think the
Yeah.
best thing is to call.
Talk to the lender.
Yeah.
Talk to the person.
Yeah.
Realtor.
And we're seeing that a lot, like as someone, as the mortgage representatives representing buyers, we get calls from listing agents all the time.
Right.
And we are happy to reassure you when something is a good deal. Don't be afraid to reach out to the lender and ask.
One of the things that we don't do is a lot of lenders will pull it
Mhm.
and then re-pull it a week or 2 days before closing.
Uh-huh.
Ours is good for 4 months,
Right.
and they're not gonna get another inquiry, a week before closing, they, find out. I mean, it tracks certain things, but we're not gonna get another inquiry.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the correspondent or non-direct lenders, so we do a lot of the work at the beginning, this way that the next, 3-4 months of your hard work of trying to find them a house doesn't go away, so we do a lot of, the real sort of digging.
The heavy lifting up
process.
front,
Yeah.
which is good.
Just to make your life and our life easier,
Yeah.
because it's obviously
Andrew, you brought up a point, you do all of your loans in-house?
We do. We
Okay.
do all of our loans in-house, and we service 100% of the loans that we close, meaning that customer will always make their mortgage payment to M&T Bank. And that is
That's very rare.
very rare, very unique. We
So your
also,
own underwriting,
all of our
Yes.
own underwriting.
And service.
Now, we are not all, it's no longer where everybody sits in one building in
Sure.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. We have people in different remote pockets, but it is 100% in-house.
But your underwriters are pretty local. Or they, in
Yeah.
other parts of the country.
You know, it's regionally local, so because M&T purchased people, some of the people's people are here locally and some are in like Albany, some are in Buffalo, but it still feels, it's still Eastern time, it's
Yeah.
still, you know, people that are employees of the bank.
Your pre-approval letters, if you do a pre-approval, let's say they can afford a $900,000 home. But I want a specific, do you do specifics?
Customize.
You
Yep.
do customize, because I dealt with another
Yes.
bank and they would not customize, and I do not like to do it.
We'll
broad.
customize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, the customer can also customize themselves.
They
They
can,
can,
yeah.
It's this issue.
We, they can't go in and change it for more than we pre-approved them for, but
But
they
they can
could,
do
at
specifics.
midnight, they could go in and adjust it to, you know, $949,000 purchase price, as long as it's up to the amount we pre-approved it for. But if you need more, we do that all the time. I mean, how many letters? have we
Yeah, I
issued?
mean, if they need more, I mean, it's, once the information, the data and the system, it takes me 10 minutes to change the number and send a new pre-approval. It doesn't take, we have to rerun the engine, make sure they qualify for the final
No, I
amount.
just don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
I do,
want
yeah.
a specific amount on the letter.
Quirky, you don't want to, you want to show your whole hand, you want to be
Right, so
specific to the
exactly.
offer, yeah, absolutely.
So does that mean you're reachable on the weekends?
And it does.
No, you can't.
Well, that is the whole problem
Yeah.
No,
with why people don't use banks, is because they're not reachable.
No, we're gonna give you our cell phone number. You can call us at any time. You can text us.
we're usually like 9:30 Sunday nights.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
usually
you
our
guys,
busiest
we
time.
know that you guys are going to, you know, show the houses on Sunday, right?
So we have to.
And then you wanna have everything in order.
We have
because some of them-
deadlines to get all
Well,
those.
you
things.
have deadlines, right? And
Absolutely.
we're going the highest and best sometimes in these high demand houses, so we need to be very reactive and we are.
So one of the things I think, so we work for a bank, one of the slight misconception is we're sort of like, you know, we're 95%, maybe 100% commission driven. So we want to work as hard as you want to work, or sometimes even more. So that's, so even though we have the backing of a bank, but we're, you know, we're doing open houses on weekends, you know, someone calls at 9 o'clock, we're answering, it's not, if someone needs a pre-approval adjustment, we'll do it at all, you know.
We're working the crazy hours that
We
you guys
usually
are
text
working.
at night.
Yeah.
Give you a break.
And
That's good. We appreciate it.
I want to make it clear, like I've got 4 loan officers here with me today. I have a team of 13. We are not, all we do is mortgage. We are not bankers in any other capacity. So we are just like your loan officer at, you know, any other independent mortgage bank. The difference is we have so much more to offer the customer in terms of financial backing, community reputation. I can't say enough good things about M&T Bank. It really is, we want to be the bank of the community, but we have that power of the financial institution behind us. And the safety, because while I only do mortgages, the bank does other things that keeps us very strong financially as well.
And I believe I met Julie once at a divorce networking group. We have.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry?
She said,
that's
yeah.
right. Yes.
Yes, and I think it was Hillary Katzenberg that I was subbing for. And we have a great network of financial planners, people that just do estate planning, which would be great for you to network with. And we'd love to put together an event where you can meet some of our other teammates that would help you in getting more deals. Because I think that ultimately, if we can deliver on the service and, you know, provide your customers with great mortgages and great services and be available all the time. And in addition to that, introduce you to the bank, which can allow you to get more customers and get more deals. I think that's what ultimately would set us apart so that you guys stop working with.
That's
Yeah.
it. We have the ability to give back as well. We have so many customers who bank at our local branches. We partner with our local branches. People who come to us because they bank here to want to get pre-approved before they meet you. I know it doesn't always work that way, but we do have the ability to give back more than I think people who are not with the bank.
Yeah, also all of us service 3 branch each, so, I cover Black Rock, Southport, and we have Westport, I think. Yeah, so we have covered branches as well, which we can, we meet other clients that they come in and the banker say, no, they're looking for a pre-approval, they're buying a house, we can, if they don't have an agent, we can direct them to an agent.
That was my next question, is physically, where is everybody?
Yeah, so, my office is in Bridgeport in the old People's Headquarters. I'm right there. And then Millie is like Monroe, Greater Bridgeport Regional Area. Arby's down in New Canaan, Greenwich area, Lower Fairfield County, Alfredo, Stamford to Southport, Nunzio, Heath, Fairfield, Westport, Wilton Space, but I have a team, and I will say this, I'm hiring, so if you guys have loan officers you love working with who cannot do what you need them to be able to do for your customers, we are open to talking to people who want to join our team as well.
Yeah, great to know. I love what I'm hearing as far as just the team, because that's so what we believe. And instead, it's such a competitive industry that you guys are not like. I think we're rare because realtors are competitive with each other. We're all in competition, but to have the synergy that you guys have that cover different areas, really, I think brings comfort to us. I also love we're usually the top of the food chain as far as we're the ones providing leads. So I'm sure that and we have to earn that trust with you, but I'm sure that there are people that go to you before they go to the realtor, just to get their pre-approval. So I'm not sure why mortgages, most mortgage lenders don't have a better lead gen system to help the people that help them, to kind of provide, it's a little bit more, sharing, going both ways instead of us just getting support, because we get support financially for some of the events we do, or for some of the leads we buy, or through Zillow. And there's a million ways that I'd like for us to talk about how we can bring each other value and just bring more leads to each other. And the other question I have is, oh my God, what is it? Oh, just differentiating you, and we don't have to do this now, but we definitely want to have a bank join as a premier partner for our team. And, there's of course Bank of America and there's Wells Fargo, and those are the big names. And the whole point is we want to choose a company that's more local, but the fact that you're local, but you have a more national presence is really great. So some kind of a blurb that we can explain to you what differentiates you from a company like B of A and Wells Fargo, and why you're a better option, and why we've chosen to partner with you as a bank over them. So we don't have to talk about that now, but maybe just think about that on the best way to present you guys to our clients.
Awesome. Sounds great. And I agree with you, Julie. I never want to be the group. I want to be the team that shows up and asks, how can we help you? Even with our other internal partners, we don't show up and say, what can you do for me? We really want to be, what can we do for you? And I really believe with my whole heart that we have the mortgage products that your customers need. So that's why I'm glad we're here today. And we are a team. And even though some of us are in different, maybe geographic locations, the team does support. Everyone on my team has the ability to lend anywhere we lend. So no one is pigeonholed to a town where they maybe have a bigger presence.
And also, you will never be without coverage, because if one of us goes on vacation, the other like Nunzio was away for a week and I covered for him. So your plan will have always somebody to reach. Vacation will reach.
And I know we've taken a lot more than I think that more than the 30 minutes you guys allotted us, but so just,
Thank you very much
thank
for that,
you.
though. It was tremendous amount of information and it was extremely valuable. So thank you all for your time and thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. You have beautiful offices and beautiful faces, and it's great to see you all, so
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I wish I was there to meet everybody in person, but I'm there in spirit. And one other question before is, and we can talk offline again, is just different languages, like just having the people's names that we have for.
I brought my international team. Millie, what languages do you speak?
Yo hablo español y falo un poquitito de portugués.
Portuguese and Spanish, and how about you, Arby?
I speak like 7.
Oh.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I speak Albanian, a little bit of Spanish, probably. A little bit of Portuguese. I'm Albanian.
Here we go.
Gloria.
And so 7 languages, Arby. How about you, Alfredo?
Well, I'm fluent in Italian, obviously. I'm fluent in French and I'm pretty good in Spanish as well.
Okay. And Nunzio?
English.
And somebody's gotta be good. And I'm just English, but I hire good people, so that's.
All right. That's really good to know because that's a bit, I would like to target market to, there's not a lot of true professionalism being offered to people whose second language is English and prefer to speak in their native language. So having a team behind us that do that as well, and knowing who to refer to will be helpful. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. And we do have a language hotline internally at M&T that covers languages that we maybe don't have here in the room, if that's ever needed. But I think that, and we at the retail branch level, we have a multicultural certification where if you ever go into one of our branches, you'll see some of them may have a badge that shows a different country flag and it says they speak another language. And I think we have everything from like Polish, Farsi. I mean, we have a wide range of multicultural talent at M&T Bank. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Very nice to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we all left our cards here.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Still
Take care.
recording?
We
We'll
appreciate
do a
your
little
time.
mix. My family owns Mancuso's restaurant, so we'll get together.
Let's
to-
go. There we go.
Where's that?
It's right across from Goodwill.
Yeah.
on,
Kings Highway.
Kings Highway.
Highway, yeah. There you go.
So,
Thank you so much later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Nice to meet you too.
Still recording?
Are you guys thinking?
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Sorry.
Good conference.
Thank you for that infomercial. Okay.
Now let me just pull up the,
I got it.
You got it?
do
Please,
you
sorry, I
have,
was supposed to.
do you have that link, that email, or I have it too? It's just not.
She's gonna start.
Right on the assignment. That email with the video link. That they sent you? Okay, so I'll send it.
Okay, we're pulling up Smart MLS training.
She's in it.
mobile rest. I want the mobile.
He lives on donuts.
Girls,
You know, it's tea.
I haven't had a donut in like
Oh,
3 weeks.
I'm so almost that
You're not gonna.
You're
you're
such a
not
good girl, yeah.
Heat up my eggs every day.
Not in here, you're gonna eat them up.
gonna heat them up in here.
No, but.
Just go do what you need to do. Do it.
Yeah, because you have a,
So what?
come on,
That's fine. Hurry up.
go do your thing, hurry up.
I just ate eggs. I got something.
But I do feel like.
All right. So, as we all know and heard and love, ConnectMLS is starting next week. The 26th to the 26th to the 27th is the transition date. Figure that both days MLS is going to be down, just in case there's any glitches or bugs. So if it were me, I would not commit to my client any pricing changes, any new listings coming on the market.
So we're not working those 2 days, is what
No,
you're saying?
I didn't say that. But what I did say was, don't figure that you can do anything on the 26th and 27th. They sent out an email that you all received. If you would like me to forward it, please let me know. Everything that we're talking about today is in that email. So if you want another place for it, let me know and I will forward it. Another thing that they did mention is if you have any listings that are coming on the market, if you start them as incomplete, as a draft on the MLS right now, all of that information will be transferred over come the 27th. So if you start the listing now, if you want to prep it as much as you possibly can, once the transition happens from the 26th to the 27th, come the 27th, all the information that you currently have in there will be included, yes.
So if you started as an incomplete in Smart.
Yep.
And then with the changeover next week, will you be able to finish it in Smart?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you will not be able to
No,
finish it.
so there's no advantage to starting.
The advantage is that you could do it in the form that you currently know.
Are you 100% sure
That's
about
what I'm
that?
saying.
Yes,
So you could do it in the Smart
you would
form.
start it in Smart, but you end it in Connect.
Finish it.
You finish it in Connect.
Yeah.
But are you sure?
But
I think we're
using
gonna
the
be able to
same-
access it all along.
You will not.
Are you sure? Cause
Yes.
that's what they made it sound like.
No.
Can't you access that? So if
You-
you need to make changes later on, how do you go in and change it? Let's say you change the price or whatever.
In Connect, because come the
It will be
27th,
transferred over.
come the 27th, you will not be able to add or edit any listings in Smart MLS. Everything will be in Connect MLS.
Right, so you can make changes in Connect.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But you'll be using the new Add Edit Connect format, or you'll be using
I
the
thought
Smart
we could
format?
continue.
No.
I read it. we
Once
could
Smart
continue in
goes away
Smart
next
because
week,
it
you will
hangs
not be able to
Yeah.
touch that ever again.
Ever
So
again.
you
Even
can
they
fix
said,
it.
but what if you opted in to keep?
Yeah, Smart.
It
The,
does
so
not.
the keep, what, the $10 payment, which I think a lot of
Doesn't
people are
apply.
getting confused about though, right? The $10 does not allow you to use Smart MLS to add or edit your listings.
Okay, so
You
add
can
or edit, you
only-
can't.
Right,
That's the only thing you can't do in Smart.
correct. In
Alright.
Smart,
Can't pay
after the
another $10.
27th, the $10 will allow you to access the
Maybe
information,
I'm-
but you cannot add or edit anything in Smart after the 27th.
So let me rephrase my question.
Yes.
So what is the advantage of beginning a draft as incomplete in Smart now, as opposed to just doing it next Thursday?
Because you will use Smart, the program you know and love, as the very last time. So you don't have to worry about figuring it out. in
There's no
Connect.
benefit.
Because most of it will already be built, Chris. You can build.
It's just holding on.
Most of it.
It's
will be
holding
built,
on.
And then if you have to add a little bit more.
Like Colleen is prepping her listings in Smart,
Me too.
so that come the
Right.
27th, she doesn't have to do everything in Connect for those listings. She'll just have it already prepped and ready. She has to do final touches, and then it'll be in Connect for her.
But let's see how easy Connect is.
Yeah.
That's because she
Okay.
thinks Connect is
Right.
difficult.
In
might
case
find
you're
it
worried,
super
exactly.
easy.
No,
And
but
you're
you're
like,
saying
who cares?
Oh, the add edit.
Add edit's easy.
In
Yeah.
case you're
Okay.
nervous, you can have that option,
Okay.
okay?
Colleen is a very high strung.
She's
Oh,
a
really?
special one, so.
All right, so can everyone see the video okay?
Should we be on something or just watch?
You should not. So you should be on ConnectMLS, yes. What MLS has provided this video, rather than reinventing the wheel, We're gonna watch the video together, and then as questions come up, just tell me, we'll stop the video, and we'll work on it on your own Connect. Okay? Kind of like closing forum. We're gonna have it up there, and then we'll just bounce back and forth if anybody has any questions.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Is this, I don't know if it's my screen or your screen, but is your screen like, you know how you can make it the whole screen?
Yes, the video should be your entire screen.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Good?
okay.
Can you see it okay?
Yes, it's just not the whole screen, and you know how there's that little box that makes it bigger?
No, that's not.
Can you see the YouTube channel right now?
Yes, I can. But you know that little box that makes it, yeah, yeah. Okay, never mind, I'm good, I'm okay,
You're okay now? Okay.
yep.
Right. Let's get the show on the road.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for our adding and managing listings in Connect MLS webinar. In today's session, we'll be talking about viewing, managing, and adding listings in Connect MLS. But before we get started, I would like to mention a couple of different things. First and foremost, you will have access to the Listings tab in Connect MLS once it goes live. So once it goes live, you will have access to listings. Your draft listing.
Okay, sorry. You can access add edit right now in Connect MLS.
Yeah.
Right.
You cannot.
You can,
You can?
Yeah.
now you can.
You
yes.
can. Okay, great.
We'll be waiting for you in Connect MLS. Any listings that you previously submitted in Matrix as incomplete is now available as draft listings in Connect MLS. We'll be reviewing this in further detail later on. Additionally, you will also have the ability to access and edit your listings on the go. When you download the Smart MLS app and sign in using your member ID and password, all of your listings will be available instantaneously. Now you can easily put a property under contract, add an open house, or make a price adjustment within seconds, right from any mobile device. With that being said, let's review today's objectives. You will learn where to locate listings and how to add listings in Connect MLS. You'll know how to edit listing details in Connect MLS, and you'll also learn how to add and upload photos and documents to your listings. If you have any questions during this session, please put them in the chat window located to the right of the screen. Please know that your questions will be answered. Now let's get started with entering a listing. Okay, so we're going to go up to the toolbar to the left-hand side here where it says listings. And I'm going to click right into add a new listings. And when you click and add a new listing, all your drafts are here. So draft, so if it's incomplete in Matrix, it'll come over to Connect and it's called draft. We're going to take a look at these a little bit later, but to add a brand new.
Yeah.
I think I'll go sit over here.
I don't see listings.
I don't either. New listings in the middle? No.
Top left.
It used to be up at the top.
Yeah.
No, I think it's, I think you
You're
don't.
still in the old. You're in smart too. You're in the wrong program. No, I went into.
That is smart.
Yeah,
No,
let's-
I think it is true. You can't access add edit now.
Yeah, you
This is
should.
You can't access add edit until the 27th.
Right here.
No,
Add, edit.
This is that.
it's a matrix.
Oh,
Go to, yeah, no,
Oh, add,
you
edit.
can't.
It said listings. I was looking for listings.
okay.
You
Got it.
can't,
Go to
yeah,
So you
add.
can't do that yet.
So we can't do what he's doing.
right, we can't do it.
Oh, my God.
There's
let's
no
roll.
listings.
We
The
can. I'm not
27th,
gonna, my little brain
But
is
it's
not gonna.
not as bad as you think it is. So
right,
just
I think we should
relax.
run, let's run through it.
training?
Just relax.
Let's run through it.
Wait.
That's what I thought,
Hard
that
to
you
relax
can't.
on these
They
old
said
systems.
though that.
Uh,
Okay, so you go, wait, so let's. do
Because
it
they
the
don't
way-
want people,
Wait, let's do it the way you can do it though. So you go to add, edit, and you
Right.
hit that.
It doesn't.
it pushes you to
Then-
matrix.
then
Goes to bring to the matrix,
Tries to
Then
kick
you're
you
in
out.
matrix,
Big
which you already know
goes.
how to do.
which you know how to
I
do.
mean,
Just, it's okay, it's okay.
All right, so we're gonna
everybody.
listen, we can use this as an intro.
Right,
Perfect.
because you guys are all very capable people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can we go back to bed for?
I mean,
Chris?
Chris did the closing
Just gonna
part.
go
You
to
can do that.
I think, don't you guys think it's valuable to watch it so you're at
Yeah.
least familiar with it so that when it is live, you're at least one step ahead and
So,
Okay.
moving on.
We just had to
Right
plan
hand
it.
side.
But mommy.
Here. And click.
Should we put that in the chat? We're panicking.
All right.
In the first
Our
screen,
computers.
he's gonna, a few steps for us to start off with one, select a property. So if you click the drop down arrow here, all the property types are here, single family, multifamily, business for sale, everything is here. For our example today, we're gonna click on single family for sale. Step 2 is how you wanna enter your listing. And it gives you 3 choices. The first choice, fill from tax, is probably about 99% of
See, this is all similar to Matrix,
Yes,
it's just in a
100%.
different format.
Right, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the way you will enter listings. So from all the information from the tax listing copies over. The second choice, fill from listing and tax. So if you have a previous listing, you're still in good standing with your company, that's still your listing, and you want to put it back into the system, you can use both. So the tax information will copy over,
that's
and all your information that you entered will copy over.
I
Now,
can
of course,
do that.
It had to be your listing or within the Higgins Vanderbilt?
Correct, yes,
Which one?
it could only be your listing.
Only mine.
Right,
Got it.
right,
Like if you were relisting.
right, if you're like so you guys have.
I have that, that's one of mine.
Import from old listing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that same thing.
Okay. What's the next one?
first you'll have an opportunity to go in there and make any changes to the property if anything has changed over that time period. But this gives you the best of both worlds. Tax information, everything you've already entered, including your photos. So if you remember in Matrix to clone you clone a property, you can clone a property, but then you have to go back in and copy the photos. This takes care of it all in one shot for you. So that's
Oh, wait a
fill
second.
from listing and tax.
This will do photo.
That is great.
They added it on
Oh,
They
really?
did?
recently, yeah.
Ah.
But
I didn't know that.
a lot of times I don't want to do photos, because I want new photos.
That's fine. So then
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
just
at
leave
least
them.
you have the
Yeah.
option.
Yeah,
You're still gonna do 95% from tax.
right.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
And clone.
So people are
And the third option, manually enter a listing, parcel, all nines. Brand new construction, land, something like that, that you may have encountered. So it gives you all 3. For our example, we're gonna go fill from tax. I'm just gonna come down here and we're gonna pick one Milford property here. Pick Milford in here. Address here. And then we'll simply click next. Right here down at the bottom right. And this is going to pull from their tax record. So select the auto-populate property address matches. So the tax record pulled up 43 North Street in Milford, which is exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to put a little check mark next there. And then up at the top corner, go to next.
So I have run into, I don't know if anybody else has, when they don't match.
Yeah.
The address doesn't match the tax record,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is a challenge because then you have to figure out, is there a way to figure it out, a new one, or we don't know yet?
What do you mean by that?
Well, like when they don't match, you have to
You would have to manually.
do some, manually or do some research to figure out why.
I would turn to Spokio. And I would see if you could cross-reference the person and the property and see if that matches. Because if it's in an LLC or something like LLC, and then there's also white pages, which will be able to pull the information also, kind of info also, yeah.
So that was step 4. Step 5, specify basic listing information. So what we're going to do right here is we have to choose our status. So if we click the drop down arrow, we have 3 statuses. We have active, coming soon, and closed, comparable only. So if you had a FSBO or something you wanted to enter in the system just for comparables, that's where that would come into
Oh, that's
play.
pretty
But
cool.
for our example, we're going to click active. And really quick here,
So you can now input closed listings for comparables. So if you got an off-market property, right, if you had an off-market property, you can now put it on the MLS. That's great.
Really?
Wow.
But you still need clients to sign off on.
Yeah, on being able to do that.
Yeah.
But for your own rankings and things like that, that would be great.
What about that?
You can, yeah, so the difference in
Yeah,
Connect is that it will count toward your total volume now. in Matrix. This is huge for people.
What? So I can put on Benson and get credit for it even though it never went on MLS?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is the difference in.
We're number,
Holy shit.
number
But
three.
does everybody understand that difference?
Yeah, that's huge.
That's huge.
You put it in, but it wouldn't apply towards your total volume. Now it will. That's.
Oh my God. We gotta put Benson up, all the ones we haven't what if it closed already?
That's okay.
Yeah, it's just like.
Well, this says enclosed, the option is closed comparable.
It's adding a, what do you call it? It's a, for comp only, you're adding a for comp only listing.
But it counts as your volume.
How do you know it counts for your volume?
Because
Are
I
you
looked,
sure it counts as volume?
I looked up, 100 Beagling, which was an off-market property that Terry Keegan put on as a, for comp only. And in Matrix, it didn't apply toward my volume, and in Connect, it did.
Wow,
Oh,
it's amazing.
so I need to go back and add everything.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For example, we're gonna click active. And really quick here, we're choosing active at the beginning of the process. We cannot accidentally, so to speak, make this go active until we fill out all our tabs and fill out all our information. In Matrix, you did it at the end. Here in Connect, you do it at the beginning. And that'll make a little more sense as we get through more of the training screens, and I'll elaborate on that. But right for now, we're gonna set this, when we do go live on the MLS, this property is gonna be active, so we're designating that now. And you'll see as we scroll down, all this information filled from the tax record. We didn't add the zip code, that came from the tax. The 4-digit zip code all came from the tax record for us. Neighborhood does not, so if we click neighborhood down here at the bottom, this particular property does not have a particular neighborhood that it's associated with. So we're gonna go up here and click that. And then we're all set. We're gonna come up to the far right, save draft and continue, just like save incomplete and continue. We're gonna save this and move on to our next screen. Now right here, this screen does look a little different from what you're used to. You'll notice on the left-hand side, all the tabs for the rooms, interior, everything that you saw in Matrix is here, except it's on the left-hand side going from top to bottom, as opposed to going right to left on the top. So that's the only difference on this screen for you. All the same information is there. A new menu over here on the right-hand side. We'll go over this, and we'll give you examples of these as we go through. Preview gives you a chance to preview your listing. So when you're completed all your tabs, all your information, you want to take a look at it and make sure you dotted the I's and crossed the T's before it goes on the MLS. You can preview it. For instance, if you had it coming soon and had a client that wants to review it before it goes on the MLS, you can send that to them as well. And we'll show an example of that when we get done. Publish means to go active on the MLS, to go live. So that's what you'll do when you're all finished with everything. You'll click publish and it'll be active, ready to go for you. Validate, just like in Matrix, shows you many errors or any errors that you made on the page. So if I click validate right now, we're going to get all our tabs on the left-hand side are going to light up red because we haven't entered anything yet. So that's how you'll check your tabs as you move along, just like Matrix. And then save draft is just like save incomplete from Matrix. So you'll save this, say right now the phone rings, you have to, pick this up at another time. Save draft, you can come back into it and continue to work on it at a later date. So that being said, we have our basic information that we've grabbed from our tax card.
You have to hit save draft. You didn't before, right?
So
Yeah. You would click
you
the
would
bottom.
save, so yeah.
Submit incomplete.
Yeah.
Submit, so that's submit.
No.
Submit
Publish.
Incomplete.
Yes, yes.
Publish
Save and
is,
incomplete.
yeah.
Gotcha, okay,
Yeah.
thank
Save
you,
is
sorry.
incomplete. Publish
Yeah.
is making it live.
Okay.
Well, we want to show you a few things here. And this is a high overview, so we're going to show you a few different things as we go along here for you, such as property information right here. So it gives you a max of six identifiers that you can use. So if you click the drop down, you can just go through this and just start clicking, whatever applies to the property. You can have up to 6. So you don't have to have 6, but you have the max 6. So you'll just choose those in there.
That's great too. Yeah.
As you move along. And a lot of everything with a red asterisk you'll have to put in there. But again, for our overview here, we're just going to kind of skip around for you. So I just wanted to point out that you'll have similar 6 max tabs as we go along here in the training. Also want to show you how the date listing contract date works. You can use the calendar right at the end here. So if you want to choose the calendar and just click on the date, that's fine. For the expiration date, you can also go ahead and just type it in. So it's ever easier for you, whether you want to use the calendar or typing in the information that works for you, that's fine. All right, so those are just a couple of things we want to show you here. The next tab we're going to go to is we'd like to go to the all right, the next tab we want to go to for you is the structure tab right here, the third one down.
Oh, so you have
And again, we're just pointing out.
That's what it sounds, looked
What
like.
did he do?
He
Validate or
saved,
draft?
Save
draft.
draft.
Okay.
So let's go back there.
Well, no, we have to do that in ours now. don't
So
we?
Yeah.
to
No, we don't, we
move-
can just go across, you
No.
don't have to do that.
Sometimes.
You
though,
should.
that's-
But I would,
sometimes
it,
it's
I
safe.
would always save drafts because you don't wanna lose any information or work. It's like when you're on a Word document, you can always do save whenever you want, you don't need to, but you should, because if your computer goes kaput.
Well,
then
this
you-
forces us to save
Yeah.
every
Right.
time we switch pages, which is good.
So in Matrix right
Yes.
now, you have to fill out that contract date and end date every time you go into the. listing.
Yes, you do.
Mm.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Does it save it here or?
It erases it every time.
Every
time.
Every single
But
time.
don't fill
till-
that in until you're ready to.
That's
Yeah,
the
don't
last
fill it in
thing.
until
you
you're
do.
ready to
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, but.
So far, I don't think so.
Okay.
I've never
Yeah.
had to do that.
He didn't mention it, so I wouldn't
Because
think
you only,
so.
I only do it
I
when,
put it
right
at the
before I
end.
publish. it.
Yeah.
So his dramatic pause
You
was
can't-
going to
I don't
save
think you
draft?
can
think
save
so.
it
Okay.
unless you have those in there.
Right, you should.
All right,
just
the
say-
next tab we want to go to for you is the
Let's see.
structure tab right here, the
Look at
third
this.
one down.
Oh, you love
And again,
that.
we're just pointing out a few
Where's the
things.
best?
You didn't highlight
I
it.
don't think he went to
If you
draft.
scroll down,
You didn't go
and
back.
again,
far
everything
enough.
with a red asterisk has to be filled out, but for our
Well,
review
see
today,
on this page.
we're just kind of pointing out a few things we want to highlight. For instance, down here.
Yeah, I think he just
Review
kind of
today.
like stuttered a
Well,
little
we'll
bit.
see when
When he goes to
Can I
this.
ask a quick question? And you probably already did this, but you're gonna email this to everybody, this video.
Yes, everybody already has the video in their inbox along with all the instructions from ConnectMLS, but we'll recirculate it as well at the end. Because we're.
Perfect. And maybe put it in well. It's hard. I'm gonna probably jump off. It's hard to follow, just, I'm not feeling great, but it's hard to follow from a distance, this kind of training from here. So I'm listening, but I'm glad I'm getting that video. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Feel better.
Hi,
Feel
Jules,
better.
feel better.
Thank you so much.
Has to be filled out, but for our pull down, pointing out a few things that we want to highlight here for you. If we scroll down,
Did we just?
and again,
jump ahead
everything with a
one?
red we want to highlight here, the third one
We're
down.
good, okay.
And again, we're just pointing out a few things that we want to highlight here for you. If we scroll down, and again, everything with a red asterisk has to be filled out, but for our review today, we're just kind of pointing out a few things we want to highlight. For instance, down here is attic, yes or no. So if you click the drop down arrow and click no, you're all set. You can move on to your next task. But if you do have an attic and you click yes, different windows will pop up. Different windows will pop up for you. So you'll have attic description. So you click in there and it's a walk-up attic, whatever it might be. And you can have up to 3 descriptions for that. So for instance, if it's unfinished, it's storage space, you can add up to 3 max characteristics in there. And this is just so we can get the most accurate information for you at the time of your entering it. This way it's going to make searching a whole lot easier for everybody as we go down the line. All right, the next tab we want to show you, we're going to go to
So he
rooms.
did say that, right, just then.
So here in the room,
I don't
the
think
next
he did.
tab we want to show you, we're
He
going to go
just kind
to
of went over
rooms.
there.
Oh.
So here in the room tab, a few things we want to
When
show you.
it says, so when we were in the initial and we were doing the parcel, it was save draft and continue. When it says save draft and continue, you have to click it, but for everything else, you don't have to click save
No,
draft.
you can go between these,
Right.
just like the old.
Like before.
Right,
Yeah, here. This
but you should,
But you
yeah.
should.
particular property has 5 bedrooms, so you have to have a total of 5 bedrooms in the listing for you. And I'll show you exactly what that means. So in this particular listing, they already have the living room set up. That's great. They have a dining room, and then they have bedrooms. So we have to have 5 bedrooms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's perfect. So we're all set to go. But let's just say when you went into the rooms tab, this particular dwelling, you only had 3 or 4 of the 5 listed. You just come right down here to the bottom, click here to add another room, and you can add the 5 bedrooms. A couple things on this area here is, come back up here. For instance, this one is designated a living room. If you come down to the room features, which have a max 6, and you click the drop down arrow, all these features that are in here are geared towards the living room. So these will all be living room centric features, just as if when you click dining room, these will all be dining room centric features, and the same thing for bedroom.
So
When you
we
click in
may
the feature
actually
section.
like,
Every single
so
one. Yeah. Just,
they may, it'll be interesting to see, can you look when he does it? Oh, you can't. They
What?
may have better descriptions, because we were always complaining that the descriptions are so
Or like from the
outdated.
1980s.
Yeah.
But the
Will all
keys,
be
can
for
you
the
move
bedroom.
boxes?
I was gonna.
Yeah.
No, can you move the rooms?
Move the
Well, let's say you
yeah.
enter an
Well,
old
let's
shed,
see.
Yes.
And I, you know, you wanna be able to
Yeah,
move
put all the
them
bedrooms
and.
together.
Can be dragged.
That's right.
I
Drag
think
them.
you, well, I don't think you could, I don't know about dragging, but it looks like, because dining room, bedroom have the same drop downs, I bet you could change them from the drop down.
But
Yeah, but
then,
once you
no,
put
no,
all
no,
the
yeah,
features
and
in-
all the
Oh,
stuff.
then you have to like
Yeah.
reorganize, yeah.
And just want to show you a little tip here. As you see, there's a lot of different filters in here for you. So you can certainly go through and scroll through them. They're not alphabetized. So to make it a little easier when you're in here is if you hit Control and F on your keyboard, Control and F at the same time, Command F if you're using a Mac. We know we got a lot of Mac users out there. So Control and F key at the same time, Command and F key on your Macintosh at the same time, and a little pop-up window pops up here at the top of the screen. Now, this is nothing new for Connect. Most Windows programs, most programs will have a little search feature on there. And if we start to type in, say, Palladium window, and I didn't even finish typing in Palladium window, and you see it got highlighted right here for us. So we just click Palladium window, click OK, and we have Palladium window. This way it'll save you time scrolling through all the different room features. So it's a little time saver there for you. I'll X out of this up here, and then we can move right on here. Another quick thing for you as well with the bedrooms is one bedroom has to be designated primary. So hypothetically, if it's a 1-bedroom establishment, that 1 bedroom has to be primary. If there's 2, 3 bedrooms, they're all equal, they're 10 by 10, they all have a closet, what have you, one does have to be designated as a primary bedroom. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind that one has to be a primary bedroom. You do have to have the same number of bedrooms that there is on that particular dwelling. All right. We just wanted to point that out here for the
So
bedrooms.
on the field card, it might say 3 bedrooms, but sometimes we mark it as a 4-bedroom.
You can just add one, I think.
You could add bottom.
It just can't be fewer.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because what if someone has turned a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom?
Well, I think it's whatever,
Change.
whatever the field says, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
like,
can change the name of that.
yeah, if you change like where it says bedrooms up top, if you change it to 4, then you could have 4 there. If you have 3, do 3.
Because on Matrix, if you change it, then you have to explain that you changed it, right, or the owner changed it, as opposed to the town.
Oh, yes.
We'll see.
We're going to come down here to the association information, the next tab down we're going to go into. Right here, association info. Click on that.
He's jumping.
And very similar to attic, we have HOA, yes or no. You click the drop down. If you do not have an HOA, you're all set. Move on to your next tab. But if you do have a HOA and you click yes, more information will pop up. So you have your HOA fee amount you have to add, special association assessment, yes or no. You can have the association fees include. You have 9 max on this particular one. Any association amenities that you want to add, you can have 8 max on that. So just another, just want to show you another tab here where things will pop up for you. And then next, we'd like to go to the photographer and virtual tours for you. To add photos and virtual tours, we will now navigate to the photographs and virtual tour tab on the lower left-hand side. That'll take us to our page.
See, you see what it did? It said saving draft data.
we're
So when
gonna
he
go
clicked
between-
it,
It saves it automatically.
it saves it automatically.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
That's good.
That'll take us to our page. And very similar photography information. The photographs were taken by. Click
I'm
the
hoping
drop
the
down arrow.
photographers are in there
Have
already.
all your designations, the MLS verified photographer, the seller, yourself, broker authorized photographer. For our example, we'll say self. Click self and OK. And then right under the virtual tour information, where you can just upload your URL from wherever your site is and cut and paste it right here. But to add photos, you'll click Manage Photos here at the bottom. We'll bring us to our upload screen. We're right here in the middle. We'll choose a file to upload. Navigate on your computer, whether it be photos, documents, or folder, the photos that you want to add. Highlight those and click Open.
And go back.
Folder.
Is this adding photos? Like
Yeah.
adding photos?
Here in the middle, we'll choose a file to upload.
You missed it, yeah.
Navigate on your computer, whether it be photos, documents, or folder, the photos that you want to add. Highlight those and click Open. And the system will automatically upload them to the system.
Let me show you how we do stuff over here. Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm good. Work me.
And you see when the photos come in, they are in a list view. If you come up here to the top middle, you can click Grid View and have them in a grid view.
I like
That's
grid,
easier to work with. Once you're in the grid view, you can just drag and drop the photos if you'd like to change the order of them.
Oh, do you gotta match it
Or
up?
you can use,
What do you mean?
You know how you have to match them up now on the box? You mean size? Yeah,
The size of the photo?
you know how like you have to match them so that it sits exactly in there?
Oh.
You don't have to, you just get crappy looking formats.
you can drop the
Let's
photos
see.
if you'd like
No,
to
it
change
doesn't
the
look like
order
it.
of them.
Right, it does
Yeah,
that.
no, I don't
Or
think that, you could just
you
like,
It's so much easier,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Just a little arrow and
I know what you're
move them
saying.
around.
Yeah, right?
You
Whoa.
can delete one, so if you want to delete one,
To
you can
move
just
them
click the X.
back and forth.
That's what I'm saying, it's so
Around.
easy.
Yeah,
You can even delete one, so if you want to delete one, you can just click the X.
you're saying two different things. So you know how in Matrix, if you wanted to move this here, you had to do exactly there to make it
Drag it.
move.
And put
This
it on
one
top.
is more like you could just do it kind of like you're in a computer and just go like that and it'll do it for you. These buttons, the arrows, if you want to make 4:3, you could just click the arrow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, you could do that too.
That's super.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes me sometimes to put that over there? I didn't think the other way was too bad.
Details, if you click on that, that'll
Yes.
You, the great part.
You're not 30.
So you know how sometimes like
Thank you.
Anna or like the photographer will give us like 60 photos.
Yes.
Can we
We didn't
upload
go-
all
we
of
didn't go
them?
all drag and
I like,
drop it.
even though
You
we
know
can only
drag
have
and drop
40,
in when I was
it's such
a
a
kid?
pain to have to like.
Drag and drop is
choose
physically
before
dragging
you
and
can
dropping.
see them, and then
So
then you have to delete some, add other ones, it's a long process.
It's a long
honestly, what
process.
I would do for photos
Yeah.
and what I have
This is really good, seriously.
what I have always historically done is I would get the photos in a folder. I would duplicate the folder and then do all my rearranging in the folder before I even upload it. I only upload my photos once they're in their proper order. And then I change the name of them to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, through 40. So then when I'm uploading them, it automatically goes exactly the way that I want them to.
When did I meet you complete?
That sounds too easy.
Yeah, because using
It's a
this
long
is
part.
difficult. It's difficult, yeah.
So you can only upload 40 photos, though, right?
I honestly, I don't think so. I don't know. He hasn't said anything about
Photos, if
the
you'd like
amount
to
of
change the
photos.
order of them.
But
Or
that's
you
super,
can use
but this
the arrows.
is easy now.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
use the little arrow and you can move them around. You can even delete one, so if you want to delete one, you can just click the X. Add details, if you click on that, that'll give you an opportunity to put a title, such as, we'll just say backyard.
Oh, funny. We don't have that.
Click submit, and you'll see that this now says edit details, and it's not bold, so that represents that we have some information in there. Where these that are bold, it says add, we don't have any comments in there.
Oh.
So once you have your photos set, you can go ahead and click them and preview them.
Whoa.
Photos, make sure they look great, make sure your owner information here is exactly as you like.
Something Florida.
Oh my God, where is
All
that?
set.
Milford.
In Matrix, you allowed 40 photos. In Connect, you're allowed 40 photos.
Oh,
Connect doubled the megabyte size per photo.
oh, that's great
So in
too.
Matrix, each photo could only be max 20 megabytes. Here in Connect, each photo max is 40. And one of the reasons for that is we've been finding a trend where professional photographers may use one setting for the interior and a different
Yes.
setting for the exterior, and then some of the photos won't upload because they're too large, because whatever setting that was used for those photos. So you can certainly resize them. There's free programs out there to resize them. You can go back to your photographer. He may have a smaller file. He may have to go back and redo them, but that all takes time and effort. So with Connect, 40 megabytes should be more than enough size to get your photos in there. That also makes them bigger and brighter, so better looking photos for you. And also, as a lot of agents and owners are taking photos themselves with their smartphones, the smartphones keep getting better and better cameras, which use more and more file size. So that shouldn't be an issue either moving forward if you're uploading your photos from your phone or your owner's phone. The size should not be an issue there moving forward. Okay, once you are satisfied with your photos and all your captions, you'll come over to the far left here, Save Changes. Click Save Changes. The system will quickly save everything for us.
This audiobook on Amazon has made me over $2,000, and I didn't even make it myself.
And then when you come back here to the photography page, you get a little preview. You won't see any description or anything you put in, but you'll get a basic thumbnail view of all the photos that you loaded up. We only loaded up 4, but remember you can load up to 40 and not just JPEG. So the system will entertain other file sizes like PNG files as well. And that is how you upload and add captions and things to your photos. Okay, we go move on to the Documents tab now, right here at the very bottom. Bring up our screen. Very straightforward. We're going to add a document right here by clicking Add Document. We have 4 steps. Step 1, specify which document to add. So that we're just going to choose our file by surfing our computer. I'm just going to grab a report here. Click Open and select the document type. So private, public documents, just like Matrix, nothing different. We're just going to say this one's a public document. Let's just say this is the floor plan, for instance. And you can go ahead and edit in here. You can say it's the Smith family floor plan, or you can leave it blank, however you like.
All right.
Choose viewing restriction.
Can you look back just a second? Because I want to see. It looks like they put more options in there.
We're just
right there.
Brochure, environmental disclosure, floor plan, HOA, home inspection, homeowner warranty, lead paint, mold, pest control, property conditions.
Looks like there's
property
4 or 5
conditions.
new ones in there, which is good.
Yeah, radon survey, other,
Yeah.
and then these are all the private ones. And there does look like he could come down more.
Yeah.
So there might be even more underneath
Yeah,
here.
looks like there's a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
just going to say this one's a public document. Let's just say this is the floor plan, for instance. And you can go ahead and edit in here. You can say it's the Smith family floor plan, or you can leave it blank, however you like.
No, you can't.
Choose viewing restrictions. This is going to default exactly like Matrix. So it gives you a couple extra options, but 99.9% of the time, you're going to leave it the way it is, exactly like it happens in Matrix. You don't see this in Matrix. Connect just gives you the options. And then step 4, click Add to begin. We're going to click Add. And that document is right there. So we got the floor plan for the Smith family. It's a public document, and you can see the size, the type, who added it, and the date and time. So that's our public document. Let's go back in and do a private document. So we're going to click here, Add Document. Same thing. Step 1, choose from our computer. Again, I'm just going to choose, any file here just to have a file. This time we're going to click the drop down here on step 2. And we're going to slide down here to private document. Let's just say it's the
photo license withheld, authorization form showing certification miscellaneous, coming soon, and listing contract.
So that both right to represent are there? I can't quite see it.
Listing agreement.
Showing certain.
Just a listing agreement.
Yeah.
So you would have put a buyer agreement in there.
So could you just put them in here?
How about for,
Coming soon is that?
No.
Coming soon, yeah.
Put it in the-
is the listing agreement the same
So
for
they're gonna
rentals
ask
as
you
it is for sale?
I heard they're gonna start asking for the list, the buyers, well, the buyers have, well, they're gonna ask for something to be uploaded. What do you want to say?
Leslie said that they're going, Higgins is
Oh,
gonna be
Higgins is
requiring on dot loop.
On dot
So coming down the pipeline very soon, Higgins is going to be sending, in the dot loop, there's going to be required fields that you guys have to ensure
Buyers now,
for everybody,
for every
listing or
So like
buyers.
agency fee, agency disclosure has to be in there.
Fair housing
Sometimes we let that
disclosure,
go,
yeah.
right? Because we're like, oh, but it doesn't have to go on our mouse, we don't have to have it signed.
Right,
Yeah, we do have to have it. signed.
agency disclosure, fair housing disclosure, if lead is applicable, your exclusive agreement, if there is one, and then there's one more,
fair housing.
um,
Is that required for you?
yes,
Yes.
yeah, fair housing.
So
They
this,
have to be-
Oh, property disclosure, if there's a property disclosure.
this will take place at what point at that loop?
Almost immediately, because, so, Leslie was waiting to get through all like the CE stuff, and then that's gonna be like next on
Our
her
next
agenda.
thing, so.
Yeah, so once March first is done and behind her, then that's gonna be the next thing that is gonna be rolled out for you guys.
Just put it in.
So we're gonna have to have list, showing agreements done with our buyers basically when we start going out.
Well, once you put an offer in, once you
Yeah.
generate an offer.
It's when I do an offer.
Right, that's when I do it now, but I'm just saying.
You just need to have all
She
your
just-
paperwork in
For
there.
closing,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as when you're, so now when you're on dot loop and you go to click, like there will be a point in which, once you upload your documents, you have to submit it for review. Right now, you guys don't have to submit for a review on dot loop, but you will need to, once this is rolled out.
You checking that?
No,
No,
She
thank
has-
God. But this is a state requirement.
yeah, this is a brokerage
It's not
thing.
just like a
This is probably
Leslie.
brokerage level, yeah.
Yeah.
So someone's gonna check it before we can do what?
Before you get paid.
Yeah, you will not get
There you
paid.
go.
Leslie won't
You
release
got that?
payment.
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
So we're
Leslie won't release
What are we talking
payment.
about, adding the agency always, which is a sometime thing for me, and then what else?
Agency,
Fair
fair
housing.
housing, any exclusive agreement, lead disclosure if it's applicable, and property disclosure.
All of our policies are normally.
Fair housing is the only real.
Fair
Let me tell
housing,
you what Leslie
uh,
said. Vanderbilt team does the best job
Yes,
with all the
yes.
agents. We already put our forms in because we make you do it.
We're just cutting edge.
I think there's others, yeah, that just
So,
don't.
yeah, it's.
They just don't even know probably.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
sloppy.
Fair
Yeah,
housing
yeah.
is the, protected classes, like the,
And how many protected classes are there in the state of Connecticut? Anybody?
six.
Is there a document for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I could show you
Fair
right
housing.
now, because my
14.
people didn't
Do you
do
have
it.
fair housing?
I actually do, because I got a text, they
Fair
just
housing.
need to see.
Every year they have them.
Every seller has to.
Yep.
It was fewer when I took the.
Oh, Christina.
Okay.
Oh.
We have to have
Christina.
Oh.
We'll blame this on Ellen.
What did she
What
say?
happened?
She's been away for a
She
month.
only knows about it. You've never seen this?
But we haven't really covered it.
They don't use it in Westport.
We haven't really-
That's where you should have said Ellen.
Discrimination is
Ellen.
baseline. So for Westport, this is the law too.
Yeah,
I think that's part of
There is fair housing in Westport.
What's up, Wednesday?
Very little.
Maybe we should cover that.
Do
they have
low-income
housing in Westport? They're building it. It hasn't come yet.
Is this why Ellen went down under?
That's not even in our.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it
It
is.
is.
Yes, it is.
It
Yes, it
is.
You're just.
That's where I get it.
It's in
It's
our
under-
seller's
it's-
packet.
It's under mold.
All right.
I get it.
Okay, back.
Let's get back to this. We'll worry about that and whatever Christina is going on.
Discriminate anymore.
Immediately after.
March 1st, you can't discriminate.
All right, let's do this.
Listing agreement, again, we can go ahead and change it, make any changes we like, or leave it as it is. Once again, it's gonna give us the restrictions, 99.9% of the time, you're just gonna leave it as it is.
I hear you.
Just giving you options. So for
Finally
instance,
found
if
her.
the seller's attorney had some special circumstance came up, you can grant temporary access to the files to anybody here. This is behind the scenes in Matrix.
For 4 years, it's been mandatory. For 4 years.
But to be fair, if you read the fine print, if you're renting, you don't have to do that. You were renting, right?
I was thinking for rentals, you have to do that.
No.
Your housing's for
It's a 90, or leave it as it is. Once again, it's going to give us the restrictions. 99.9% of the time, you're just going to leave it as a listing agent exactly the way it is in Matrix. Again, Connect is just giving you options. So, for instance, if the seller's attorney had, some special circumstance came up, you can grant temporary access to the files to anybody here. This is behind the scenes in Matrix. It just defaults to the listing agent. Again, 99.9% of the time, you're going to do the same. And then we just come down here and click add at the bottom. And we just added our private document. So we got the private listing agreement. It's locked.
You have to click, or is that included?
Yeah, well,
No?
I think listing agent would just
Which
include.
Listing agent
Right.
assistant.
Yeah,
Assistant.
listing agent
There's a listing
assistant.
agent
Oh.
assistant.
Maybe.
Yeah, so that's what a
But they
That's
were
what I'm
calling it
asking.
co-listing before, so I think maybe listing agent assistant is like the administrative.
so is there, so there's.
but if you're both on the list,
That's what I
they're gonna be
mean.
able to access each. access.
Right.
So automatically, that's what I'm asking, so we don't get to check something there?
No, you do not have to check anything.
Okay.
They're just allowing you to see the back end now.
We're going to do the same. And then we just come down here and click add at the bottom. And we just added our private document. So we got the private listing agreement. It's locked, showing it's private. Same thing, file size, who did it, and date and timestamp. And that is pretty much right there in a nutshell how you do upload your documents. All right, so we got our documents in. Oh, I got a phone call. Excuse me. Oh, it's right away. Yeah.
Really?
Open house.
They're not-
Yeah, no problem.
It's acting.
Perfect. You got it. Thank you. All right, I'm sorry about that. I didn't take that call. Client needs an open house put in. They need it right now. So even though we're in Connect and uploading a brand new listing, you can leave this alone and come right back to it. We're going to do that by coming up to the top toolbar here. This little stack of papers here. If we click that, we can open up a brand new workstation.
What was
Where
that?
did it even go to?
Stack of papers here.
What is it?
Stack of papers.
By coming up to the top toolbar here,
Yeah.
this little stack of papers here.
Word
Do that by coming up to the top toolbar here, this little stack of papers here. We click that, we can open up a brand new workstation. And you can open up to 3 brand new workstations at any time and pick up right where you left off.
Oh,
Three different listings open.
Great.
yeah, so you could be doing 3 different things now at the same time.
In your account.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
That's
Is it
great.
3 different screens and you just toggle back and forth?
Essentially, yes, it would be almost 3 different tabs of Smart MLS that are active at the same time.
That's great.
Yeah,
What
that's
happens
great.
when doesn't everybody's smart MLS, like, mine craps out, like I have to log in.
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
well, and this one won't, because you could do 3 different at the same time. So if you're in a listing, you don't have to close it to be able to do something else.
What
You could
about-
just add a new workspace.
I just mean like it
What about-
logs me out. If
Oh,
I'm doing something
yeah.
else and come back to it, it logs me out.
Well, that's.
Yeah, that's an
that's
MLS
not bad,
problem.
yeah.
What about being on different devices?
At the same time.
Yeah, like I'm open here and then I want to use my phone for, will it close out?
That it has been a legal thing that I don't think that they would change. He hasn't mentioned so far that they changed that specifically, but that's because they don't want unauthorized users using the account at the same time. So maybe the phone, now that the app is something that they're pushing a lot, they'll be able to delineate versus the phone and Smart MLS, but so Connect MLS, but so far he hasn't mentioned anything about that yet. Yeah.
So I open up this new tab here. I'm going to come up to listings on the left-hand side, come down to view, manage my listings and transactions. And I'll explain this. We're going to come back to this when we edit the listing, but we have to do the open house right now. It's right here on 123 Test Drive, our creative test address. We're gonna click edit all the way on the far right-hand side. And we have a list of all the things that we can edit. And again, we're gonna get into this in just a couple minutes, but we wanna come down here to tour open house. And we're gonna click add new tour open house right here on the left-hand side. A new window pops up. I'll pull it over here so we can see it a little better. It's just an open house, so we'll click open house. It's this weekend, so Saturday the 13th. It's not gonna be live streamed, so we can leave that alone. The time was 1 p.m. Correct that, make it PM instead of AM. That'd be a very early open house to 2 p.m. No lunch is provided, no refreshments. Just click save here down at the bottom, or at the top. There's a top save as well, whichever is easier for you. We have it right here. So 13th, 1 to 2. We have everything we like here. So we're just going to hit save. And we just added a brand new open house on the fly. You can do this on your desktop. You can do this on the app on the phone, whichever is easier and faster for you, wherever you might be. We're going to now flip back over to our tab where we have our new listing that we are entered, and we're going to go ahead and complete this listing right here. Okay, now that we've entered all our tabs, in theory, we've entered all our tabs, we can go right up to the top here and do a preview. So let's hypothetically, we've gone through all the tabs. We want to make sure we dotted the I's, cross the T's. You can click preview right here at the top, and the system will generate a preview for you. So you can kind of take a look at it and make sure everything looks good. Everything's in there. Now we skipped some tabs, so it's a little
similar.
Vague there, but you get the idea of the preview. You can also click here, print it to a PDF.
So this shows, so we're adding it in here, but we still have the other one, right? The old one. So this is gonna show it the old way if you go into the,
No,
it's not, it's gonna show it the new way in the old system.
this is the new way.
I know
In the
that.
new system.
Yeah, I mean,
In
once
the
you're
new
in the old
system.
system, it's gonna show like the old system, because you're in the old system, but once it all transitions next week.
That's what I'm saying. So when it transitions.
It will look like the new system.
It
It'll look
in
like
the
this.
new,
Yes, yeah.
even when you're going, because you're still paying for the old system, but then it's,
Regardless of whether or not you're paying.
right, it's now gonna look new because
Right.
that's how you input it,
Correct.
right?
Yep, yep.
So even though we're buying it, we're eventually all gonna, right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to
yes,
say?
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's not gonna look the same.
Right, so we're paying for it, we're just buying a little
They're
time.
taking,
Exactly, yes.
they're taking more of your money.
We're just buying ourselves a little time to
Right.
get used to it. That's what we're saying, okay.
Who's opted into the test? Anybody?
I did. But
But
what
you
I
can opt out anytime. It's not
right,
come
but
up.
what I said was, so we're putting these in, and as we put them in, they're gonna look new in the old system. So basically, we're just buying ourselves a little time because it's all gonna look new. Eventually.
No, when you're in the old system, it's gonna look like the old system.
Because you're in the old system.
So you're not gonna be trained, right, you're not gonna be able to, yeah.
Right.
So when you are paying the $10, you're basically paying $10 to feel comfortable.
Right, I get that, but won't this setup, it won't revise to the old setup, that's what I'm saying.
It will. In
Oh,
the
it
old
will.
system, it will look like the old setup. In the new
Will.
system, it will look like the new setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in the old system, you will not be able to make changes.
No, I understood that part, yeah.
Send it to your client so they can review it before it goes live on the MLS. If everything is all set, we're gonna hit publish, and it's gonna be active, because that's what we chose when we first started entering it. So we're not gonna publish this, because we didn't finish all the tabs, and I'm gonna show you the validate button. So if we click the validate button, there's all the red on the left-hand side here. These are all tabs that we have to go in there and fix before we can publish it. So we can't accidentally make this go live. We have to go through all these tabs, just like in Matrix, and make sure everything is filled out. We'll just go into rooms, for example. So here and right here, level of the room is required. So we have to go in here and just put lower level. Same thing. I'm just gonna go put lower on all these just to kind of show you how that works.
All those bedrooms are on the lower level.
Have you seen that building? It's a dungeon.
This guy is really,
All
He's got a dark sense of humor.
asterisks are filled out. We click validate. And you see if we click on another tab here, rooms went to dark. So rooms is all set. So we have to go through all the red tabs, make sure they're all complete, and then we can go ahead, publish, make this active. Or if you're sitting there and say, okay, I gotta go, client walked in, phone's ringing, whatever it might be, you can save as a draft, formally incomplete, and come back and complete this at another time. And that, in a nutshell, is pretty much how we enter a list.
So save draft, he said, is comparable to incomplete.
Right. And that, in a nutshell, is pretty much how we enter a list.
I can do that.
Yay, we did it.
All right, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be amazing.
All right, don't go so fast.
Andrew's part done?
Sonic's what?
Andrew, your part done?
Yes.
All right, anything else you guys wanna look at?
Move on to the documents tab now, right here at the very.
Relax.
Oh,
We already
sorry.
watched
You think
that.
those little books will-
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Julie,
I
feel
know,
better.
feel better.
Thanks so much. Talk to you later, guys.
Is Thor there?
Thor's here, yes.
Okay, you don't need anything then?
I don't think so. I think I'm good. The only thing I think I might need from little Valerie is the plug for my iPad that I gave for the Mac. It's just, I'm using my iPad so much and my charger doesn't work. The only one that worked was the one for the Mac. So maybe we could share it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a new one, but I've gotta order it and I don't have it.
You want us to order it?
I'll give you, that's right.
I can do that. I also have a call into Kemper because I don't know what happened to the one that went with the Mac.
Okay,
So she might even have it.
okay.
And because this is just an iPad, I shouldn't need like a big one. I should just be able to plug it in. But it's that bigger iPad and the only one that seems to work for me is the one that went with the Mac.
Okay. Okay, let us know if you want us to order it.
Okay,
Bye.
Thank you.
thanks, guys. Thanks, Jamie. Good to see you.
See you too.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Works for you.